On the autopsy table in the forensic lab lay two large bags of human remains. After examining them, the team arrived at a conclusion that sounded almost unbelievable.
He was frostbitten while climbing Everest, then struck by a meteor, then dumped into a vacant lot in 2 garbage bags and eaten by crows.
The story begins a few hours earlier. A struggling D-list actor was excitedly shooting a photo spread themed around angels and demons, just as the photographer asked him to show the expression of someone who had just encountered the devil. Something he saw in front of him instantly pushed his acting to Oscar-level intensity. Soon after, the Bones team arrived at the scene. Looking at the 2 bags of shredded flesh, Angela asked a question she would regret for the rest of her life.
What do you make of the stuff in the blue bag then?
It looks like chili con carne. A single piece here bigger than the skull of an Australopithecus.
What they didn't realize was that they themselves had nearly been turned into chopped meat as well. Every fragment of the body was carefully bagged and brought back to the lab. Even Camille, who had seen just about everything, felt nauseous when she looked at the mangled remains. But the team quickly pulled themselves together and began the preliminary examination. Hodgins studied the maggots found among the body fragments and estimated that the victim had died about 48 to 72 hours earlier. Camille believed the killer had likely used a wood chipper to grind the victim into pieces. Hodgins also discovered tiny particles that looked like gold mixed in with the remains, along with something that resembled a black pearl. Meanwhile, as Murray went on, as usual, showing off his vast knowledge, the look exchanged between Camille and Hodgins made him suddenly uneasy.
Find out how many corpses we're dealing with.
We'll find out if these are really gold flecks and pearl fragments.
Staring at the 2 bags of flesh, Murray realized he had just lost his appetite for the day. Meanwhile, Camille made a new discovery. She detected that the victim's cells had burst from the inside. This usually happens when water inside cells freezes and forms ice crystals that rupture the cell membranes. From this, she concluded that the victim had likely been exposed to extreme cold before death, possibly frozen, while climbing a mountain. At the same time, Hodgins finished analyzing the black object. The so-called black pearl was actually a fragment of a meteorite, and that led to Camille's bizarre theory. From the beginning, to test the hypothesis, Hodgins and Murray decided to run a simulation experiment. They wanted to see whether a high-speed meteorite could smash a frozen human body into pieces. Just as they were about to begin, Brennan suddenly appeared and stopped them. She had checked NASA's recent records and found no meteor impact of that size. However, the composition of the meteor fragment perfectly matched samples from a private research institute. So Booth and Brennan immediately headed to that facility. The institute's director, Landis, was a blind scientist who specialized in superconducting materials. Even though he couldn't see, he navigated his surroundings using special ultrasonic glasses. When Angela handed him the meteorite fragment, he only needed to touch it once to recognize it. The fragment had once been set into a gold ring. He had used it as an engagement ring for his fiancée, Diane. At that moment, Angela realized something. Those gold flecks probably came from that very ring, which meant the victim was most likely Diane.